Okay, so good afternoon, class, and welcome to your entrepreneurial management class. Today, we'll discuss about entrepreneurial leadership and strategy. So we'll touch on different leadership style, culture, strategy, and innovation. So our approach class, gagawin natin is we'll make sure that we'll able to cover all the topics for your midterm exams. So if we need to catch up or slow down, in case kung maging advancement tayo sa lesson, basta ang gagawin lang natin is whatever is covered, especially based on your course outline, kung ano lang yung coverage ng midterm, yun lang yung magiging coverage ng midterm examination natin kahit pa mag-advance tayo ng discussions. Okay? Okay, so leading and motivating employees. So like I said, we'll talk about different leadership styles and their impact, motivation theories. So in leading an organization, you have to make sure that your employees are motivated. So there are different motivation. So like in your case, what motivates you to attending my classes? Sige nga. Or in my case, what motivates me from for being employed with my current company, so those are the things that you have to evaluate. Now, as an organization, we also have these different key measures in order to motivate our employees. Number one, we empower them. So 'di ba, like for example, you're in an organization. So for example, si Angel, so Angel is leading an organization. um Paano niya ma ensure that the employees are motivated, so there, like I said, it's behavioral also, and it's dependent to the person. Kaya nga meron tayong mga tinatawag na key motivating factors that we have to ensure that they are being applied across. So number one, syempre kung meron ka mga tao na very highly skilled, so make sure that you give them projects that will hone, or that will really that they can showcase those skills. So kung meron ka mga employees that are very good in presenting, so let them present during meetings. Meron din naman mga employees that are very good in supporting in the back end, so let them be. So do not force them to present, although that may be also a another improvement for that person, pero forcing them won't help really. So dapat yan gradually. And also we'll talk about communication and inspiration. We have to be to serve as an inspiration to our to our organization, especially as managers. Okay, so let's talk about different leadership styles and their impact. Number one, we have this autocratic leadership. So leader makes the decisions alone with little input from the team. So do you think autocratic leadership is beneficial? So the impact would be, yes, it enables quick decision making, but it may also lower employee morale and creativity. Kasi imagine, in an organization, all the decision is made by the top management. So walang input from the lower management. So this is actually the impact. We have also this democratic or participative leadership. So leader involves employees in decision making, and this is usually what's happening in different organizations. So it builds engagement, it increases creativity, but it can also be time consuming. Kaya nga it has to be a blend. So there are cases where the leadership team has to do the decision fast, because time is of the essence. So there are also um, things that we have to consult, no? Kaya nga pumapasok yung participative leadership. You have to consult with your team members, no? So like for example, there's a project, no? Uh, in order for you to get the buy-in of all the people from your team, you make the decision by ensuring that they are also part of the process, no? So we have also transformational leadership, no? So leader inspires and motivates through vision, passion, and innovation, no? So it encourages high performance, fosters innovation, but may overwhelm some employees, no? Kaya nga sabi natin, it has to be there has to be a blend. It has to be a combination of these different leadership styles. Next, we have transactional leadership, no? So ano tong transactional leadership? It focuses on structure, rewards, and punishment to achieve goals, no? So clear expectations and order, but may stifle creativity and initiative, no? So one good example of this is, yung carrot and stick approach, no? So carrot kasi nga every time the team hits the target, you give them reward, no? Pero pag naman hindi na hit, then it has to be stick, no? So yun yung papasok dun yung punishment. Then we have this laissez-faire leadership, hands-off approach. Employees have freedom to decide and act, no? So the impact is it empowers experienced employees but may cause confusion or lack of direction if team is not disciplined. Ito, when I first joined my company right now, because it's a recording, I'm not going to mention it, but in my previous sessions with you, I've already mentioned about the company, no? Um, during during my first year here with my company, I noticed that every employee is very flexible, no? So parang anong ginagawa? They're not being tracked, they're not being monitored. They can easily just do the job the way they want it, no? Ang nakita ko lang na downside nun is number one, we're not certain whether the employee is actually working because we're all working from home, no? And sometimes, no, most of the times whenever we have meetings, yung attendance is low because people can work whenever they want to, no? So kung anong oras ang gusto nila, dun lang sila yung nasusunod, no? So it's very less structured, though it also encourages people, no, to stay with the company because they can, the company is very flexible. They can do the work whenever they want, no? They just deliver, no? The problem there, like I said, is lack of engagement, no? So we don't know when people is around. So given these different types of leadership styles, what do you think is suitable in academic setting like this, no? Itong ginagawa natin. So I think it's like I said, it's combination, no? So we ask for your input, and then at the same time, there are also instances when a decision has to be made outright, no? Yan na lang good example is yung decision by the mayor to cancel classes, no? Previously, wala sila power to decide on behalf of the private institutions. Imagine, public schools are already canceled, no? Classes are already canceled. Yet the private institutions rely on their leadership, school leadership, no? So it has to be aligned, no? And therefore when SHED approved the and gave the authority to the mayors, ayan, nakikita mo even public and private schools canceled na. So it comes from the mayor already, no? Kasi nga it has to be applied across. Okay? Okay, so let's talk about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, no? Kasi nga 'di ba, sabi natin what motivates you. So iba-iba 'yan, it depends on what you actually need, no? We have physiological needs. This is the most basic level, no? So we have food, water, rest, salary to survive, safety needs, job security. Obviously, our employees uh, would require job security and stable income and safe workplace benefits. Kasi imagine kung nagtatrabaho ka and yet there's always this feeling or fear of losing your job. Walang job security, walang guarantee na may work ka pa kinabukasan. Obviously, it will make your morale very low, no? Social needs, belongingness, teamwork, friendship, positive work culture, no? This is very important. Like in my case class, no, I'm like I said, I've been with the industry for I think close to 20 years, no? So I've been working in the accounting profession for 20 years. My motivation in finding a job is really a very good culture, no? So tinitingnan ko yung class, bakit may bakante na role? Umalis ba 'to, nag-resign ba 'to, bakit nag-resign? Baka kasi dun pa lang makikita natin nag-resign pala hindi okay yung boss, nag-resign pala kasi hindi niya gusto yung culture, no? So kasi, importante sa akin yun class, especially the company culture, whether it's really working harmoniously, whether there's collaboration, because that motivates me, no? Kasi I always believe na uh, madaling matutunan ng trabaho, pero yung culture, yun kasi is it's something that has to be uh, influenced by the leadership team, no? Kung paano yung leadership team it translates, no, dun sa mga lower level management, even to the lowest rank. Then we have esteem needs, no, so recognition, promotion, respect from colleagues and leaders, no. So some people are motivated by being recognized or promoted, or given a piece of recognition for a job well done. Even yung sabihin lang ng boss mo, no, "Oh, good job," 'di ba? So it really helps, no? And then self-actualization, no? So we have personal growth, creativity, realizing one's full potential at work, no? So uh like in my case, I always want something challenging, no? For my work, no? So I don't want it to be transactional kasi 'di ba ang transactional work, don't get me wrong class, no? So I also started low, no? So during my first year in accounting, nag-start ako accounts payable, processing accounts payable, accounts receivable. But as you grow, as you step in the ladder, also in the hierarchy, no? It changed, no? So syempre, the higher you get, the more challenging role you're also getting, no? So in the workplace, leaders can motivate employees by ensuring basic needs are met first. So fair pay, job security, and then build on higher needs, no? So we have recognition, growth opportunities, and purpose-driven roles. Kaya nga, we do exit interviews, no? Kasi we want to understand why people leave, no? Dun lumalabas, sinasabi na, I want a greener pasture. So, ibig sabihin, there's really no opportunity for him to grow in the company, kaya lumalabas, no? So, yun, we as an organization, we'd like to address that, no? We need to make sure, pero obviously, we cannot promote everyone all at the same time, no? So, there has to be a business needs. Kaya nga, we always look into, meron tayong tinatawag na succession planning, no? So, of all people in the organization, sino yung mga ready na, so that when there's a business need to promote someone, or we expand on a project, then we can promote these people, no, from within, no? So our company policies to make sure that promotions are first offered within the team, no? So kung walang ready within the team, that's the only time that we get someone from the outside, no? So yun yung basic, no? Again, um, those are the some key measures to keep your employees motivated. Okay, so we have Herzberg's two-factor theory. Ito pala class, no? So, if you're just focusing on reading this book, itong, ayan, yung entrepreneurial management, it's really okay, no? Kung yun lang yung ginawa mo, okay yun. At least you have the basic, no? But then, during our class, I see to it that I include other materials, no? So like this Herzberg two-factor theory, because I think this is also key in order for you to have a full understanding of the entrepreneurial management, no? So we have these hygiene factors prevent dissatisfaction but don't motivate, no? So we have salary, company policies, job security, working conditions, and supervision, no? So especially itong supervision, no, not I mean, ikaw na lang sa sarili mo, no? Like when you're studying, you don't want your parents to be at your standing at your back, making sure that you're really studying, no? We don't want that, no? And that's why it takes a lot of maturity and also being showcasing to your parents that you're responsible enough, especially if you're a scholar, no? So there's parang ano yan, there's a certain degree of responsibility that you're able to meet the grade requirement, no? So there's pressure, but then let's not talk about that. Let's try to see it as an opportunity, no? So yes, scholar ka, and therefore there's you have to be paano ba, up a bit, no, yung expectation sa'yo. So you have to find a motivation, no? Motivators truly drive satisfaction and motivation, no? So achievement, recognition, responsibility, personal growth, and meaningful work, no? So in the workplace, removing negative hygiene factors, unfair policies, poor conditions only prevents dissatisfaction, and it doesn't inspire motivation. So to truly motivate, leaders must focus on motivators like recognition, challenging work, and growth opportunities. Pansinin plus, ha, what motivates you could be being recognized at work or being given challenging work. Kasi nga, when you're given challenging work, ibig sabihin, parang it goes without saying that the management relies on you, no? So it's also a motivator. Now, of course, growth opportunities, no? So promotions and the like. Okay. So let's talk about developing an entrepreneurial culture, no? So what are the different characteristics of an entrepreneurial culture? Encouraging risk-taking and innovation. Ito class, this is very key, no? Risk-taking, no? Syempre, when you uh, when you venture into a business opportunity or business venture, hindi naman yan palagi success, 'di ba? Kaya nga 'di ba, madalas nakikita natin those successful ones are really those who strive, no? So those who didn't stop when they fail, but you know, they tried to um, value the experience and then move on from this experience, learn from these experiences, and move forward, no? Kaya nga meron tayong tinatawag na um, risk analysis, no? So we have to analyze ourselves, ano ba yung appetite mo for risk, no? So next meeting, I'll share you a link, no? We'll do an exercise on how to gauge your risk appetite, no? Ikaw ba yung person who would take the risk or who would take calculated risks or won't take a risk at all, no? So may mga gano'ng factor 'yan, eh. Kaya nga 'di ba madalas, naririnig natin 'pag sa sugal, you only you only use the resource that you only gamble the resource that you can let go. Parang ganun, no? And then innovation, obviously, you have to make this business venture innovative, no? Baka naman you're offering an accounting platform, yet everything is still manually induced, no? So we don't like that, no? And then building trust and collaboration, no? So it's important that we uh, promote a collaborative environment, no? So people helping one another in order to achieve a common goal. And then role of leaders in shaping culture. Ito, class, like I always say, this is very important, no? That the culture of the company, it's being driven by the top management. Kasi nga, it translates down to the lowest rank. No? So kung imagine, no, if the CEO na lang is very inspirational, no? So even the lowest rank will feel it, no? So it's really it's a good culture. Now let's talk about the different characteristics of entrepreneurial culture, no? So sabi natin, innovation oriented. It encourages creativity, experimentation, and new ideas. Kaya nga palagi kong sinasabi sa mga sa team namin, walang walang maliit na idea, no? And in fact, we try to uh, compensate it, no? Although maliit lang, pero at least, we value your feedback, no? So we continuously iterate the process based on feedback coming from the employees, no? So hindi to yung palaging, oh, ito yung napag-usapan natin today, ito na siya forever, no? So there are inputs coming from the employees. Paano sasabihin pa sa akin, Sir Mark, mukhang mas okay ganito. Let's test it. And then when we prove it that it's really better this way, then uh, we make it operational. Parang ganun, no, class. Employees feel free to suggest improvements and test solutions, no? So that's the innovative factor. Risk tolerant, no? Tolerance. So willingness to take calculated risks, no? So failures are seen as learning opportunities, not punishments, no? That's the one of the characteristic of an entrepreneurial culture. Proactive and opportunity seeking. So employees are encouraged to spot trends. Okay. Chinek ko lang, baka hindi nagre-record. Employees are encouraged to spot trends and act before competitors. Culture values initiative and forward thinking, no? So especially class in a startup, no? So we have to make sure we have to be very aware of what's happening in our environment in order to cope up. Open communication, no? So transparent information sharing between leaders and employees. Kaya nga 'di ba palagi sinasabi, there has to be a collaboration, there has to be a collaborative effort amongst the team, no? Hindi lang yung ano, baka naman nag-uusap-usap kayong magkaka-level, no? It has to be with your manager or with the leadership team. Kasi nga uh, pag ganun yung culture na de-develop within the organization, the achieving the goal will be easier kasi nga pare-parehas kayo ng goal in mind, no? Then there's flexibility and adaptability. Organization can quickly adjust to market changes, no? Employees are empowered to adapt roles and processes as needed, no? So um for example, system change, no? So um as an organization, you have to make sure that you're flexible and you have to be adaptable to this type of changes. Kasi nga, change is constant, 'di ba? It really it's really happening, no? For one good example is the launch of the artificial intelligence, no? So kung before you do your research, you go to the library, okay pa rin yun class, ha? I don't discourage you from going to the library, but also make sure that you embrace this innovation these days, no? Like I said, students are, ano ba? I don't want to use lucky, but students are given the tool to learn more, no? Kaya itong even my materials, I can simply just get all my materials from our book, itong entrepreneurial management, but then I use different tools to come up with a um, reinforced topics, no, in order for us to learn more. Then we have this employee empowerment. No? Staff are trusted to make decisions and take ownership. No? Ito, I particularly get this from my boss. No? Ang sabi niya sa akin, it was barely 10 years ago when I got my senior leadership role. No? Ang advice niya na sa akin is to make sure to live with my decision, no? So kung may mistake, just own it and then learn from it, no? Shared vision and values. Everyone is aligned with the company's mission and goals, create a sense of purpose and belonging, no? So imagine if everyone in the company is working on a shared vision, no? So for example, in accounting na lang, our goal is to make sure that all the financial statements are released, no, by end of month. So with that goal, everyone is working really hard, escalating issues, no. So if one person is having difficulty with his internet connection, he will reach out to his manager. The manager will then reassign the other tasks to the other team members, no? Ganun. Parang ano siya, sense of teamwork. And then, syempre, kung hindi ka naman team player, obviously, you're not part of this group, no? Kasi nga, everyone is trying to help, especially those members of the team having difficulties, no? And vice versa. Okay, creating and implementing strategic plan, no? So we talked about this previously. So I think ang bago dito is SWOT. Again, next meeting we'll dive more on SWOT. Ito yung, 'di ba, strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threat, no? PESTEL, we've talked about this before. And then we strategy formulation and execution, and then monitoring and evaluating results, no? Like I said, next meeting we'll deep dive more on SWOT naman, no? So pag-usapan na natin quickly how do we monitor and evaluate results. Obviously the initial state would be defining your vision and mission, and also ensuring that every member of the organization understands your key deliverables, no? So we'll be starting with key performance indicators and service level agreements, no? Wag na tayong lumayo. Sa ano na lang, in a basic organization, sa MLQU, for example, what are the responsibilities, or what are the key deliverables expected from your instructors, no? Ako na lang, for example, the the dean, si Ma'am Lala, expects me to make sure that the course outline is up to date. So meaning it still includes relevant factors, key to ensure that we maximize learning opportunities for the students. Ano pa? That preliminary exam, midterm exam, and even final exams are given on a timely basis. Ano pa? In case there are class suspensions, we're able to catch up on our discussions. No? So those are key deliverables. Now, how do we monitor And how do we evaluate? So monitoring could be checking whether materials are posted in Google Classroom. Kaya si Ma'am Eden, she has access to all Google Classrooms, you know. Paano pa? By imposing deadlines, no? So by this date, you should be able to provide us the updated course outline. By this date, you should be able to provide prelim, midterm, and final examinations so they can print it, you know, and administer it to the class. How to evaluate, no? So you get student feedback. You also there are also cases where the dean would sit in during classes, no? So those are uh, the opportunities for you, or those are the steps where they can monitor and evaluate results, no? Now in ano naman, in corporate setting, no? So like in my case, like I said, I work for a company whose primary service is to cater with S corp, no? So basically we're doing the month-end bookkeeping, financial reports for different solo corporations in the US, no? So key deliverable namin is to make sure that we issue the financial statements monthly and timely, no? So how do we monitor? We track the progress of the accounting advice. We call our accountants accounting advisors, no? They're being assigned a number of tasks, no? So making sure that at the end of the day, all their tasks are completed. How do we evaluate results, no? So we check their completions. Say for example, accounting advisor A is able to complete 50 books. The other accounting advisors only complete, sabihin na natin 15, no? So we check what went wrong, or what did the accounting advisor A did differently to hit 50 compared to others who just completed 15, no? So those are types of checking that we do, no, in order to monitor and evaluate the results. Now, let's talk about managing innovation, no? So importance of innovation for competitiveness. Like I said, let's take for example Nokia. I'm not sure, no, if you heard about Nokia, yung phone, no? So during the 90s or in early 2000, sila yung number one in the mobile phone industry. But then they weren't able to cope up with innovation, no? So sila hindi naka-cope up, 'di ba? And then here comes Samsung, here comes Huawei, iPhone, no? Naging highly digitalized na yung offering ng mga mobile phone, no? So hindi sila naka-cope up. That's why it's really important to check your environment. Even yung Blockbuster na lang, Video City, no? So ngayon, meron na tayong Netflix and different different platforms online, no? And then change management models. Pag-uusapan natin yan later. Overcoming resistance to change, no? Siyempre, like I said earlier, change is constant. But then there are also people within the organization that resist change, no? Sino ba yung gusto na palaging nagbabago, no? So we want we generally we want a stable process. We don't want it to change, no? That's true. But then how are we going to cope up with the ever-changing environment if we're resistant to change, no? Kaya nga as early as now, I'm encouraging you to be very aware of your environment, no? And make sure that you're able to cope up with it, no? Kasi like in my case, no, uh, ah, modesty aside, magaling ako sa Excel, no? I know how this different Excel formula works. Pero for the good part of 20 years, I always use Windows. Paglipat ko dito sa collective, ayun na na-mention ko na yung company, they're using MacBook. Imagine class, I have to unlearn all those formula that I learned from Excel kasi different yung mga shortcut keys nila dito sa Mac. But then, um, after a year of using Mac, parang mas okay na sa akin ng Mac over Windows, 'no. So again, uh, I again, 'no, it's a one way of adapting to change. Itong number 4, encouraging continuous improvement, 'no. So a simple change in the process, especially if it has dollar impact or peso impact, is really ano, it will put you uh, uh, on the spotlight, 'no. So imagine, 'no, one good example is a project we've started in my previous company. So sa previous company namin, lahat ng entries, journal entries, it has to be manually inputted into the system, 'no. So we automated that. We use robot in order to post those entries. And imagine, ang naging saving namin doon is 5 full-time head, 'no. So just by automating that process, we save 5 heads. Anong ginawa ba namin do'n? Kinat ba namin? Tinanggal ba namin sila sa trabaho? Of course not, 'no. So we just reassign them to a more value-adding activities within the company. Okay? So that's why continuous improvement, like in your case last, 'no. So don't just parang wag kang matapos by, completing your course, 'no. Completing your course says a lot about you, but you have to make sure that you're on top of the competition, 'no. So, baka meron ka pang ibang skills, baka meron kang skills on IT, programming, 'no. So, I highly encourage you to look beyond entrepreneurial management kasi, um parang ano, this is your platform, 'no, so this is your stepping stone, but you have to make sure that you always upskill, 'no? Kasi imagine, 'no, eto na lang, 10 kayo pare-parehas na entrepreneurial management, you have to up a bit, 'no? So, dapat lagi kang ahead of the competition, 'no? So, you have to innovate yourself, 'no? Ah, there are free courses on programming, IT, macro, yan, very important yan, especially when you're already in corporate setting. Okay, so yun tip lang naman yan, pumasok na naman. Let's talk about different change management models. No? So we have Lewin's three-step model. No? So we have unfreeze, prepare the organization for change by creating awareness of the need. Bakit kailangan nating magbago? No? So ito lang nangyayari sa DPWH class. There has to be a change in the process. No? So sa budget pa lang, there are anomalous transactions happening. No? So then change or transition, implement the new process, behaviors or structures, and then refreeze, reinforce and stabilize the change to make it permanent. No? So this is simple and practical, and it's best for small to medium scale changes. Now, we have this also called Cutter's 8-step change model. So we have to create the urgency for change, no? So, yan lang. Tingnan natin ulit yung DPWH. So, the urgency for change, ang ginawa ngayon is all the undersecretaries, especially those involved in anomalous transactions, they are being sent with letters to explain. Kung hindi daw makapag-explain, uh, they will be suspended. No? So that's really creating the urgency for change. No? Building a guiding coalition or so strong leadership team. No? So the move by the new secretary from the Department of Transportation, I forgot the name. I think he's key to making sure that change will happen. No? And develop a vision and strategy, communicate the vision clearly, empower employees to act on the vision, generate short-term wins. Ito, this is very key and this is very important. No? In a milestone, you have to make sure that you reward, no, and then celebrate milestone. For example, DPWH na lang din ulit. No? So, Ano ba yung mga key milestones dun sa ginagawa nila? Siguro, now that they are able to identify key people involved in this anomalous transactions, no? So making sure that the public knew about it, and then ano ba yung the next steps, no? I think that's the short term wins, no? That they're able to identify these people, consolidate gains and keep improving, and then anchor changes in the organization culture. Now, if we translate it again in the corporate setting, sabihin lang natin na there's going to be a change in accounting system, no? So bakit kailangan mag-change? Kasi the current system, uh, we're paying too much compared to developing an in-house system. So yun, isang change yun within the company, no? So it is comprehensive framework, and it's useful for large scale or complex changes. Oops. Okay. So let's pause for maybe 5-minute break, and then we'll resume with the second part of our discussion. No? So I'll stop recording for now. I'll pause the recording.